Okay, we're live right now. What's up, everybody? Check my settings real quick.
Sir.
Just make sure everything sounds hunky-dory. Yeti and Yeti, cool. So, Sean, what I noticed that the last couple weeks, like whenever I start saying, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, like that first welcome word, doesn't matter how soft or loud for some reason, it's like heck of like welcome every. So like what I did last week, I went welcome in everybody, and then I cut out that last one so that way it wouldn't the boom would be cut out. So I don't know why it does that. Don't know, but here we go, episode 146.
Imagine if you were The Rock and you're like,
finally. Like a broken record. Okay. Folks, thank you so much. Let's do this. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Comic Bookies podcast. Episode 146 is here. Thank you so much for joining us, watching on YouTube right now, or listening wherever you get your fabulous podcasts. We have more news, more sports, more comics, everything to talk about in the worlds of sports and comics. Let's get into this collision course, shall we? In the comic book section, we have plenty of books to get into, plenty of new books to talk about from your comic book stores, and especially ours, Treasure Island. In news, Elden Ring has sold a crap ton of copies. We have trailers to talk about, including Miss Marvel and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and The Batman dominates at the box office for a second straight week. We will give you a non-spoiler review of this movie. And over in sports, March Madness is happening. NFL news, we have some trades and some big pickups. MLB season is happening. The Champions League round of 16 is over, and NASCAR is in Atlanta this week. So strap in, and let's go for episode 146 of the Comic Bookies podcast. One second, guys. Freaking Maddie's can't stay.
no worries, dad life.
Freaking Maddie. Dad, you doing the podcast? Yes, I am, sweetie. Now get the hell in bed. She had to use the restroom. But I hope that
little potty break.
I hope that noise didn't come in hell. Did you guys, towards the last, when I was talking about the Champions League and NASCAR, did it sound hella louder or no? Like that background noise.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Sounded okay.
She opened the door, and then her door is open, so the noise machine's coming in through there. It's just a whole thing. Well, This is the life we have chosen, gentlemen. We have to podcast around it. This world is not stopping for us.
Make the best out of it, yes.
And so let's return back to the podcast. In 3, 2, and 1. And as the music fades Fading in is Mark, Sean, and Mike for the Comic Bookies podcast, episode 146. Thank you all so much for supporting us, joining us live, listening wherever you listen to. Thank you so much for all the support. We are brought to you by, like always, every single week, Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Austin 3/16, 2022 is New Comic Book Day, so go out there, start your pull list, get anything new, old. You can go into the shop every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. He can mail you your books. You do curbside. Any way you can get your books, he can deliver. Gentlemen, especially Sean. Sean, you were gone last week. Welcome. Thank you for joining us again. Glad to have you back. Mark, how are you guys doing?
What's up? What's up? Doing good, bro. Just busy, man. I've been busy. We just, had a little bit of a move. Still got the whole newborn fever with Kaysen, so just a lot of life things happening over the past couple of months. But no, things are good. Definitely happy to be back. This is the stress reliever to hang out with the guys, talk sports and comics, so I definitely could be a lot worse.
Nice.
Really happy
Mark, how's
right
it going,
now.
brother?
What's up, man? Nice to have you back, Sean. Brasi, we're all back, ready to deliver 146 for all the fans out there. And pretty exciting stuff. I've been busy as well, and going to get even busier here with the tourney time starting up. So we'll see, man.
Right.
But pretty good time in sports. We got a big name returning out of retirement, and we'll get into that. But other than that, man, just looking for peace in this world, and just hoping that everything out there in the Europe and stuff, calms down eventually. Still continuing on, but we'll see, man. But excited to be here, excited to share my ideas of comics and entertainment alike with you guys, and watch the Batman. And finally,
Yes, sir.
Maybe we'll get into that. No spoilers, though. We got a guy still hasn't seen it, but fun stuff, man. How are you guys?
Doing pretty well. Starting the work week tomorrow, so it's good. But it's cool that I get to finally have that position to where like for years and years and years trying to watch those first round games was always tough. I'd be on my phone or on the radio, and I would just try to set up your phone right there and just try to go to each and every channel. But now I actually get to be at home if I'm not sleeping watching some of those games, so it's gonna be interesting to be able to get to experience that. Even though I haven't really paid attention at all season, I'm not sure how much we've been paying attention. So, but just to the tourney fever, it always, heats up. I have no idea who these teams are. I know who the teams are, but I have no idea who any of these players are, and I don't know who won their conference tournaments, what seeds they are, but it's just fun to turn on the game and, these buzzer beaters and, did you see that game? Did you see this 14 beat this 3? And stuff like that. So it's awesome.
One of the best times of the year. The only thing missing is us going to Vegas. That one time we went for Mark's bachelor party, just so happened to be during March Madness.
Right.
I will say that was single-handedly one of the best experiences I've ever had. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. Haven't watched too much of it either, but when you watch the conference tournaments and whatnot, it's kind of what you need to really get yourself back in gear. You kind of get it, accustomed to some of the players. If you watch a couple of those games, just kind of busy with everything going on in the winter, and, just dealing with all the NFL and the college football gambling and whatnot. But, hopefully I'm ready for it, and can make a little bit of money. So made a little bit of money last week in the conference tournaments. So hopefully maybe have a little bit of plays for the fans later, something that I might like.
You know what? I might jump in with you, because if you're confident in making money, Mark, I might need a little coin soon, because my check engine light came on the Scion. It's 194,000 miles.
No.
My wife told me yesterday, she goes, I've been planning for this for years and years, right? That it was eventually going to happen. I don't know why you're surprised. So I hope it's nothing big. I was driving to work on Saturday, and I got almost to the freeway, and the check engine light came on. So I pulled over. I'm like, let me just turn off the car, wait a few minutes, check everything under the hood, make sure everything's fine. I had enough oil, all the good, gas, of course, everything's good. And then turn it back on, and it stayed on again. So I'm like, so I flipped a U-turn, took the truck to work. So yeah, hopefully I don't get bad news when I take it into the shop next week, or I might be riding the free bus to work for a while, but we'll see.
I thought you were going to say you needed a little bit of more coin because of how damn expensive gas is.
Well, yeah, Yeah, well, that too. Especially if I have to take the truck to work this week, But if I get really, really bad news, then I might just, if these costs are gonna, like Sean knows, I had the truck for years and years. When I had like something every 3 or 4 or 5 months
Legendary.
happening, and it was like 500 here, 1,000 there. It's like I'm actually like now in the hole as far as getting any kind of money back. So, that car is probably worth a couple thousand, 3,000-4,000 or whatever, like right now. So. Especially in this market, I see some of these cars going for like an ungodly amount of money. I saw,
Price, bro. Oh yeah.
2000 something, like a 2003 or 2005 or something, Excursion. The one that's like bigger than a Ford Expedition. It went at an auction for over $100,000. Yeah. Yeah, over $100,000. I'm like, what? We were talking about it at work, and so like my boss pulls up like all of our cars. I was like, hey, pull up a 2007 Scion TC, and he pulls it up, and it's it was like $4,500 or whatever. So I was like, oh god. Even in the market where all these janky cars are going for tens of thousands of dollars more than what they should be worth, even my car is still the lowly piece of crap that's just going for a couple thousand. So hopefully I don't get bad news. Hopefully it's just like a spark plug or something, but I mean, I checked those a few months ago. I don't know.
Probably an O2 sensor, brother.
I sure as hell hope so. My coworker actually is bringing me his computer, little reader, tomorrow, so I can actually check it out and see what it actually is before I even take it in.
See what the damage is.
For sure. But anyways, on to some better news, some good news. Let's get into the comic books this week. So starting out in comics, we have DC coming out tomorrow. We have Detective Comics 1057. I believe this is the final issue of this weekly long issue. It's been 12 weeks, I think, Mark, of back to back to back to back. So finally getting an end to this story. Nightwing number 90 is also out. The Flash 780. Almost close to that 800 issue mark. Wonder Woman 785, even closer to 800. Justice League 74. That story is actually wrapping up pretty soon. I think it's going to be going into something different. Justice League, I believe 75 is it for that story. Amazing Spider-Man 92. Avengers 54. X Lives of Wolverine number 5. Carnage number 1. And The Marvels number 9 is coming out for Marvel this week. Image gives us King Spawn number 8, The Silver Coin 10, Rain number 3, two new stories, The Slumber number 1, and coming out of Stillwater we have a side story called The Escape. Number 1 comes out tomorrow. Boom Studios gives us Basilisk number 8 and Power Rangers 17, and AWA gives us The Crimson Cage number 4. So, gentlemen, as far as what I read everything up to February 23rd. So whatever you guys got for this week, whatever you guys want to talk about from that week, or anything that you read over the last couple weeks. Sean, why don't you start us off?
Well, my man, certain books I do have to read out of order just I like them so much. I was telling you guys over the text. Definitely like The Joker. I read that. I know something we all read. I'm sure you haven't read it, Mike, 'cause it did just come out last week. The Punisher number 1, new little story. I am actually really liking it. It's barely the first one. The writer, Jason Aaron, artist, Jesus Saiz. Yeah, bro, it's badass. Kind of digging into that a little bit. Typical Punisher, just very gruesome images of him just dicing and slicing. And he's kind of like the judge, jury. There's like a ninja society type that kind of doesn't take them captive, but kind of like pretty much like recruits him to a degree as like their leader, and he's kind of just the judge and jury of like all bad people. Like they'll collect groups of people that are murderers, rapists, and the Punisher pretty much handles their punishment, which is usually just with the machete slicing their heads off.
Judge, jury, and executioner then, huh?
Yeah, and it's funny because execution part they said, "Oh, we'll handle it." He goes, "Oh no, I'll be the one to take care of them. You just round them up." So. No, it's really good. Artists were really good, and no, I don't know. Punisher's been one of my favorite characters. I know we read those ones that Forrest let you borrow.
Jason Aaron's a really good artist, mainly in Marvel, I believe. I know he's written some Avengers stuff and also Spider-Man. I'm sure he's written so many other things, but that's just to name a few of what I actually know that he's written. What else?
Very nice, my man. Yeah, that was a good one.
Mark, are you up to date? Action Comics 1040?
I am.
That one, this one it's it's a book that normally I'd be like, it's kind of like out there, because it's on a different world, kind of like a Green Lantern story where that one from Grant Morrison I wasn't huge into, but this one still is piquing my interest for sure, man. What'd you think about it?
It was all right. Like I've been talking about with action, I feel like the story's decent. Not the best, but it was all right. Did you read the Joker actually?
Not 13.
Not 13. Okay.
Yeah, not 13.
It seems like to me, in my opinion, that I think Tynion is, obviously it ends at 14. I feel like he's kind of trying to get through it kind of quick. I don't know if Sean feels that way. He read it, but I mean, pretty good story. I wish it would have kept going, but at this point, I just think that it's kind of dragging on. If it's going to end it. I wish that, at this point with the whole Gordon thing, I felt like it's just been a lot of Gordon going on, but it's a decent book. I feel like I'm so far ahead of you guys. I've gotten up to 1055 on Detective. You guys have not, I believe. You guys are up to 53.
I just read 54, but because Sean's only at 53.
53.
Yeah. So, I mean,
okay.
Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, so I'm only one behind you. So, but yeah, no,
what did you think about that?
I
or what do you guys think about Detective in general?
I mean, Detective in general is cool. I don't know if you guys have ever read a story with Psychopirate in it. So,
yes.
So how do you guys like that, story? He seems like he's kind of all powerful. He seems like he's a little bit too powerful.
I was just going to say that he controls anything, bro.
Until he gets sleepy,
Yeah, he can control like anything. Sleepy. With like Nightwing, you're weak, you're tired,
you're calm.
Can't do anything. Yeah. You're done.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, I don't know if they find, his kryptonite, Psychopirates. I don't know if how they best him in the upcoming issues. I don't know if Mark has seen that already, but we will find out in the coming weeks.
Well, when you get to 1055, can I have a little plot twist? So.
Oh, okay. So that's good. It's kind of setting up the final 2 issues, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just say someone returns, and it's not who you think.
Uh-oh. Oh man, I mean we are behind on those too. So actually, if you read up to 1055, you're actually caught up because what we were supposed to get 1056 last week, and we're not getting it until tomorrow, and then 1057 is probably next week, I assume. So we'll see. Finish this.
That's right.
Yeah, finish this 4-issue miniseries from Aftershock, Cross to Bear, kind of Jack the Ripper / we find out it's kind of a vampire story. Pretty cool. I'm going to guess that every single writer and artist on this book is from Croatia. Marko Stajanovic, Sinisa Banovic, Aljosha Tomic. Those are 3 different names. So that's definitely Croatian written all over it, But it's actually a pretty good story. Actually, I would actually say the first 2 issues were like, it's only 4 issues. I guess I'll stick to it. But the final 2 issues like really brought me in. And of course, like Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, had me begging for more. So I'm like, of course it's the last issue. That's the best. Did you ever watch Legion, that FX show kind of based off the X-Men? It was like an X-Men off show, and it was like some trippy, like drug-induced show, it seemed like. This issue of, let me see if I can see it. This issue of the Department of Truth, if you can see the cover. No, oh, come on.
No, your background effects kind of killing it.
I know, right? So, anyways, the Department of Truth, number 16. It was a pretty good issue, but it felt like it was just I was on like an acid trip the whole time. It was super weird. Everything was just like molding and meshing, like but it was pretty cool. And that's all I have. I'm gonna wait.
A book that I read that I thought Image. I thought. Yeah, I sent you guys the pictures. Pretty cool. I thought it was going to be actually longer, like 5 or 6 issues, but it actually ended at 4. Mm-hmm. Just finished reading it, and that was Mark Millar's King of Spies. Really good story. I really, really enjoyed it. Pretty much, I mentioned it before, but the guy that he's a spy and, kind of like an assassin. And, he finds out he has cancer. He only has a certain time to live. And he basically wants to go out and like kill all these, erase all these scumbags that like before he passes away, all these dudes that he has like done dirt. And you kind of learn a lot really in this last episode or last issue number 4. And his son like holds a grudge against him. He never would show up, and he was always out doing his crime fighting detective type work, assassin type stuff. So his son is actually trying to find him. And it comes to like this whole plot twist at the end that he's saying, I'm going to save the last big, like I'm going to, like in a video game, right? You get to the master, you want to save the biggest kill for the end. And then pretty much, the whole plot twist is that, it's him. He hates it within himself. I think he can't live with the fact that he's, murdered so many people and done dirt in his life and just basically not been able to be the father to his son, and just like played all types of women and had kids that he's never really been really talked to and met. So I think like at the end of his life, he kind of just feels like a scumbag, pretty much, dies and, get killed, and like leaves a note to his son, basically heartwarming note saying, don't live the life that I lived, go take care of your mom and, enjoy life. And, pretty much, I mean, at the end of the day, it was like a great story with a great, meaning to it at the end. And I actually really did enjoy it. I mentioned a lot that I might have to get off kind of like I guess you can see what I'm really attracted to, because a lot of these books lately I've mentioned that I've been reading is like murder mysteries and whatnot, so I might have to get off of those for a while. So maybe get into something else. But I mean, they're good, man. We all know that Image delivers. Boom as well for like these smaller publishers. At this point, I don't even know how small we can, really name them. Image celebrating 30 years. I got that little 30-year special edition, issue that like shows a bunch of their, work from the past 30 years, obviously, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, man, Image delivers again. King of Spies, obviously, short 4-issue story. If you guys wanted to check it out, it's Mark Millar, Matteo Scalera on the art, and really, really good. I really, really enjoyed it. Something quick, easy to read, fun to read, kind of dirty, a little graphic, if you will. I showed you guys, and it's just fun stuff, man. It's fun stuff. Just looking forward to anything else coming out from Image, and just been kind of slacking on previews, man. I've been so busy. Sometimes I feel like that might be a good segment for our podcast in a way. We can kind of go through previews one time and kind of talk about things that you saw, I saw, Sean saw, that we might all be getting or that we might be liking, kind of give the fans a little bit of a preview of, if they don't get previews, but there's something they could look forward to like, try to get. Just something I was just thinking about, give a little heads up. But there's just, I didn't even flip through previews last month, to tell you the truth, dude. It's just, not much.
Yeah, not much. I got more stuff for my son and my daughter as far as like the little golden books and stuff compared to like what I would get for myself. I got like one DC short story. I ended up kind of feeling bad that I was going to get absolutely nothing, so I got that Batman Fortress one. It's like an 8-issue miniseries, and maybe one thing from the regular previews, but nothing from Marvel. And then I got like 2 golden books for one for my son, one for my daughter, and then another issue. I was actually I was this close. I was almost going to start like add to like the actual pull list. It was from IDW. It was like a brand new My Little Pony story. It was like My Little Pony, like number 1. I was gonna pull it for my daughter and kind of like, that's one of our bedtime stories. Just like read an issue like every week or every like once a month whenever it comes out. But yeah, I mean, specifically talking about this month, you're not missing much in the previews. I would say 2 months ago I got a good 6 stories, but this month, nothing. Actually, the highlight of my comic book week, last week I'm at work, and one of like the top, like one of the managers for the other shift, we're going home on one of the mornings, they're coming in and they're talking about some anime movie, but like live action. They made some anime into a live action movie for Netflix. And he's saying, I've always wanted to read something too, because, it's just him and his wife, his kids are out of the house, or at least in college or whatever. He's like, yeah, I've been wanting to like read something. I was like, well, what are you into, Tom? And he goes, well, I like all the gory stuff. I like slasher movies. I like, vampires and werewolves and just stuff that goes bump in the night, right? And I'm like, well, I I have a few stories that are like kind of like horror stuff. But I mean, if you like zombies, I mean, I have the first 16 volumes of Walking Dead, so I'm proud to say that tomorrow when I go into work, I'm going to give him the first volume of The Walking Dead. It's like the first 6 issues, so that's pretty cool to like spread the love, spread it. Just make new comic book readers out of everyone. So it doesn't matter if you're 6 years old or his age, which he's probably around 60 years old. So pretty cool. That's probably the highlight of my comic book week.
The real question is, how many of your employees are watching the Comic Bookies podcast?
Well, I didn't I didn't want to be like that annoying douche and just go around to every cubicle and drop a flyer. But a couple people have asked me about it, and actually one person down on the floor, I think I mentioned this like a month ago, one person down on the floor was like, "Hey, yeah, you do a podcast?" I was like, "How do you know?" He's like, "Oh yeah, a couple of the guys over on the other lines, they actually like found you and they listen and watch every week." So I think at least like 5 people like just on our shift listen and or watch. So yeah, so pretty cool. Shoot, but that's pretty much it for books. I told you guys I was pretty excited that this week I'm getting 6, next week I'm getting 6, and the following week I'm getting only 4. So I'm hitting like a cold stretch of like.
That's a low stretch for you, certainly.
It is. But watch that one previews that I did like 2 months ago where I got like 6 stories. Watch, it's all going to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm going to get like 13, 4 straight weeks. Watch. Ugh.
Yeah, so you're talking about the previews, the one with the white cover that there's not much in it, Mike?
Yeah, and then the one with the Something of Blood is the DC one, where it's got a guy with dreads. Talking about that one?
Okay.
Yeah, it's that one.
No, I'm talking about the latest one, like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, okay. So not much.
Yeah,
huh?
no.
All right.
Yeah, not much at all. So yeah, you're not missing much.
That's good. We need a little bit of a break, right? I think that there's been so much stuff coming out lately. Man, we've been getting swamped, like you said, like 7, 8, 9 a week, and I think next week I'm getting way less also, and I feel kind of good about it actually, because kind of letting the winter months and kind of like spring cleaning, if you will, when it comes to the pull list, right? Things are ending. I know what I'm going to keep getting from like DC, my ongoing. I kind of want to revamp the pull list, kind of like start fresh again. Just got a lot of stuff going on, and just I want to make my reading like worthwhile, not just just reading just for the hell of it. Kind of how I feel with Miles Morales sometimes. Might have to pull that one, whatnot. I mean, drop that one, but really gonna have to do some revamping definitely on the pull list. Fans, let us know if you're revamping your pull list. If you do it quarterly, let us know when you do it.
I sure have revamped since I've been reading. I remember when I first walked into Treasure Island, man, I got like 15 different stories. They all were the Rebirth. They all were DC, and since then. Man, I would say the majority, like over 50%, is still DC, but I get a couple Marvel, some Image, some Boom Studios, Aftershock. We've gotten everything. Source Point Press, AWA. I'm very, very consistent with them on. So, yeah, I mean, and just kind of to end my spiel on the comic book section, I'm actually going to be at the shop next week, right when they open up next Wednesday. I have some bags, some boards, and a new box to get, so don't really want to spend the money to have them shipped to me. So I like to make like the, like monthly or bi-monthly trip, take my daughter, get her a few little, DC superhero girls or whatever stories. So yeah, about 11 a.m. right when they open up shop, I'll be there down in Fremont.
I might need to sneak out during my lunch hour. Go there.
There you go. So let's get into some news, shall we? Some quick hitters. You guys throw anything out there as far as, news, but I kind of have a few headlines from the past week. Elden Ring, I know none of us have time right now to play video games. We barely have enough time to get our books in, let alone do anything else for ourselves. But Elden Ring has sold 12 million copies. The only reason why I mention that is because, first of all, it was a headline, and second of all, I know a few coworkers who actually are playing this game. I'm pretty sure my cousin Matt's probably playing this game as well. He's into this type of genre, so I haven't heard that type of news in a long time as far as video games are concerned. So, yeah, Elden Ring. Don't know anything about it. Just thought I'd mention it. So, I don't know. Let's see. What do I have? Did either of you watch the 2 new trailers that we have from Marvel/Star Wars? We have the Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus show trailer, and we also have the Miss Marvel TV show trailer that just came out, I think, today, right? today, or I think it
I
was
was, I
today.
believe, today or
Yeah, something like that. So we
yesterday.
have again, Star Wars, Marvel. They're not stopping. They're not stopping. All of the content, right? But then we also, on the other hand, before we get into it, Sean, that Moon Knight. I think I read an article, or you guys sent it to me, or I forgot where I saw it. That Moon Knight will not be connected to this MCU. So
It's going to be its own thing. Yeah.
So, which is kind of weird to me. I mean, yeah, I guess you can do that. I mean, it'd be pretty cool, but at this point, when everything else is connected, why wouldn't you make it connected? Like, why?
And it's going to be just a short series, I believe, too, right? Just like
Yeah,
6
something like that.
episodes. I think it's going to be just one season,
And you don't
too,
have
I
to
think.
have Doctor Strange in it. You don't have to have other characters in it, but just be in that universe. Like Luke Cage, like one of those episodes, he talked about like the Hulk smashing a building like in his backyard. Like he just kind of mentioned something like that. So that way, in the near future, you kind of leave it open to Moon Knight joining in another movie or something like that. I don't know why they would do that. Why they would spend the money to have it, but then it's done. It's not. I don't know. It's weird to me.
But what about like the Batman, right? Same thing. The movie that just came out, doesn't really have a tie into the DC extended universe, right?
That's very
its
true.
own.
Yeah, I mean, I know that when they kind of went away from Snyder, when they got Matt Reeves to do this one, I knew that they weren't going to be connected at all, which is fine with me. They're already having 2 shows on HBO Max that are connected in the same world, so maybe they start from here. Especially since it's been so successful the first 2 weeks, maybe they kind of grow off that success, And I hope that and there's always a chance, like if the Flash does really well, if Black Adam does really well, they can also join it in this universe too, right? You don't have to, They can even do if Aquaman 2 comes and then all of a sudden, boom, there's Robert Pattinson as Batman. They can always do that. People are going to talk shit about it, but oh well. I'm all for keeping it within, the universe. But just because Ben Affleck is not Batman anymore, and just because Robert Pattinson's now the new one, doesn't mean that you can't mesh the two together. I don't know. I wouldn't mind it at all. More conjoined, more converged, IP. I'm all for it.
I'm really interested to see like the direction they're going to go with the Flash. But even more so Black Adam, because all the characters that are going to be in that movie,
dude, Dr. Fate, Hawkman, like that's going to be really cool. Because Black Adam, because that's easily you can connect him and have him make a small appearance in Shazam too, and something like that. If you ever want to do like a Justice League Dark, he can always be in that. They need to do. Oh my God, I was so mad that they messed up in the accounting. In the accounting office of the Swamp Thing, because that show was pretty cool. That one, for DC Universe or whatever, they had the 8-episode first season, man. If they kind of grew off of that and had like a horror movie or just continued it, man, just put some more money into it, that had the ingredients for a really good show. I honestly think that a lot of the DC Universe / HBO Max shows are actually really good. I like Doom Patrol. I like Titans. I didn't watch the whole first season or 2 of the Harley Quinn cartoon show, but it was kind of my humor. It was pretty funny. So,
speaking of coming back to comic books real quick, kind of upset, just found out that Human Target, Tom King's offering, is actually going to be pushed. It's like they're breaking it up into 2 seasons, I guess. So they're going to do like 6, and then the last 6 is going to be like in the fall. I'm like, what a hiatus, man. That's just, in my opinion, that's just too many months to take off,
So hold off on issue 5 and 6 until the fall. Read the first few and then hold off. Don't read that last issue or last 2 issues until you get issue 7.
I mean, I can see taking a hiatus 2-3 months, but man, almost the whole rest of the year till I get the Human Target again. It's almost kind of like what is this, a show? I don't know, man. But
I know, right? They go like their spring break or their winter break, right?
Yeah, it's like making me wait for the Mayans, man. By the way, Mayans is coming back, and there's Sean. There it is. The Mayans is coming back.
I'm almost done with 2021. I'm almost done with that 5-episode little crossover, the Armageddon for the Flash. I'm just finished episode 4, so it's pretty wild. It actually grew into like a pretty good little crossover. I actually am digging it right now. Did you watch it, Sean?
It was decent. Oh yeah, I watched the crossover, and I actually watched the episode 1 of the first season.
The newest
season.
Is that technically its own thing, or it's part of season 8, right?
I think it might be part of season 8, but the first episode was
okay,
kind of just
cool.
its own
I'm
thing.
almost done with 2021, and then back into 2022. So I'll get Snowfall. I'll start to do all that stuff. So yeah, I can't wait, dude.
Ooh.
Oh,
Snowfall's
dude,
off
can't
to a good
wait.
start.
So back to my actual original news. So Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer. It was pretty dope. It's kind of set after episode 3, right? Like Darth Vader is already Darth Vader, and then Luke Skywalker is young. So
young
it's before in between episode 3 and 4. So it's not in the world of the Mandalorian, because that's after episode 6.
No. I'm very excited, bro. When I seen that trailer, I think Laura posted it, and I seen it.
It's going to be good. It's going to be fire. And then Miss Marvel. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
And it's funny. Go ahead. And it's funny you brought that up, because I know I seen news that they actually were going to do, I believe, Darth Maul, and then they decided to cut him and have Darth Vader be in the show. So, yeah. A little something I was like, oh, that actually would have been pretty cool with Darth Maul. I really like him as a character, but
I know, but
you almost need Darth
Obi-Wan
Vader.
Kenobi killed Darth Maul in episode 1. That'd be like a cool redemption story, right? And like I never watched the cartoons, but how did he come back? Isn't like his bottom half like all robot or something? Like how does he come back to life? I forget. If someone's in the chat right now or whatever, you can let us know. But I forgot how they kind of brought back Darth Maul into the cartoons. I kind of thought that they brought him back because like they saved his top half of his body and like made the bottom half like like Cyborg. And I forget. Well, while Sean's figuring that out, we want to say goodbye to, if you're watching live on YouTube right now, which by the way, we thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, another one bites the dust. And it was actually an unfortunate incident. He was just having hip surgery, and one of those things where, you never know. And he had complications from...
Is that what happened?
He had complications from hip surgery.
He had a blood clot.
Really?
Yeah. Sucks.
Wow.
He had a blood clot that just spread, and then it went... He had 3 heart attacks throughout that night of his surgery, and... Yeah, bro, it's freaking wild.
You think it has anything to do with, Mike shaking his head?
Yes. Steroid use?
He already knows.
He had a terrible substance
big
abuse
alcoholic.
also. I mean, yeah.
Because that's actually a funny story, because my mom actually just got hip surgery a month ago, and, she has MS and whatnot, so she was, like, really, really worried. The doctor at first was saying that, it could be kind of risky, and I'm like, come on, Mom, you're going to be fine, it's just freaking hip surgery, they go in there, cut it, whatever, they take out.
You never know.
Yeah, I know.
Man.
You never know. And like she was like kind of like scared and whatnot. And I was like, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. I didn't know how Mr. Hall like passed away. That's crazy, getting hip surgery, huh? I'm glad you guys told me that. I had no idea.
Yeah, man.
I mean, at first I was thinking, I'm like, oh, it had to have been something, maybe steroid use and whatnot. That stuff catches up to you later in life. But man, 3 heart attacks, blood clots during surgery, man, just sucks, dude. Mr. Scott Hall. I thought his name was Ramon. Why do you have a name Razor Ramon if your name's Scott Hall? It could have. Was it because Scotty Too Hotty was already taken or what? I mean, I don't know. But
Scotty Too Hotty wasn't taken yet, but it ended up being taken. Yeah. I mean, I think they all. I mean, what's the Undertaker's name? It's like something. Like in the,
yeah, but his name's the Undertaker.
But
like,
Razor Ramon, but like Razor
Ramon.
But Razor Ramon had to be like, it could be Razor Scott. Razor Hall had to have the alliteration.
I thought his name had Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's Steve Williams.
I thought his name would have been Razor Ramon or Ramon, man. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean
he looks like he could pass for a Ramon, right?
I think that's why he did that, because that's what his his personality was, right? His character, Razor. Hey, yo, Chico. Ramon. Like, hey, yo, my name is Scott. I don't think that works.
Yeah.
I think he became Scott Hall when he went to WCW, right? And then because I bet you WWF at the time kind of had rights to that name, Razor Ramon.
It was just like Diesel,
big,
Kevin Nash.
But I mean, I know we don't really watch it nowadays, but I guess wrestling is making a comeback. They get good viewership, man. Their numbers are pretty good.
I mean, you get Brock Lesnar to come
bro.
back,
Yeah,
you get
they're
Stone
always
Cold
gonna be
Steve Austin to
consistent.
come back. I mean, The Rock has made a few appearances, of course, you know. Actually, my wife watches it more than I do because she's always like, "Oh, I want to watch like the Hall of Fame things," and then they're also going to have, you know, one of the pay-per-views is on Peacock, right? Like Royal Rumble or something. So I was like, "What?" I think I had.
I mean, you got to admit, wrestling, man. As much as people want to say it's fake and whatnot, but I mean, wrestling does great for entertainment. Some of the damn memes we throw at each other on a daily it comes from wrestling. And
Yes.
just what's that one?
Goldie.
What was that one? It said, "If wrestling is fake, explain this to me." Right? And it's like the dude
like doing flips and stuff and cartwheels. Yeah,
it's hilarious, dude. I mean, at the end of the day, it's entertainment. That's what's what we came for, right? Are you not entertained? I mean, wrestling kind of entertaining, man.
I mean,
it's just
not now. Wrestling is not
have you
entertaining to me.
watched it though?
No, yes, I have. It's not entertaining to
Okay.
me anymore. It's still overly
'Cause
fake
you're
to
not
me.
a kid.
I know.
Well, obviously, it's still really.
When I was a kid,
But
it
it's
was like,
still-
oh, dude, you know, there are certain times where it's like, okay, you just got thrown off Hell in a Cell, right? That Undertaker versus Mankind match. Of course, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But like, just a regular one-on-one match does not entertain me anymore.
Well, they have more females in it too. I think that's pretty good. It's funny. It's just, I mean,
The Miz.
I watched it.
The
Dude, they have
storylines,
like
bro,
what is
the
it, the
best.
Friday night SmackDown? Sometimes I'll just be sitting around and I'll turn it on just for some shits and giggles, and it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's still. I mean, I'm not gonna.
You know what though? They don't have the Godfather anymore. They don't have Val Venus anymore. They got rid of all of that. So I knew it
I
went
mean,
bad.
I'm not
man.
gonna sit there and act like I'm like a weekly watcher, but yeah, it's a good laugh every once in a while.
Oh man, I just remember. Oh, dude, you can take me back to so many different, like just the Vince McMahon and Stone Cold, you know, that saga, and then Booker T and Goldust. That's the best, dude. And then
The 5-time
and then
champ,
even
right
the
there.
invasion. Remember the invasion when WCW and ECW invaded the WWE? You know, that was one of the best times ever of our watching career. You know, when Kurt Angle and all those guys came in, Chris Jericho, like years after, we wouldn't have had those great times if it wasn't for that invasion, right? We wouldn't have Booker T.
Basically McMahon buying
You wouldn't have
everything
Booker
out.
T and Goldust. You wouldn't have those tremendous, you know, Booker. You know, you wouldn't have that. You wouldn't have that if it
Crazy,
wasn't
Mike.
for the invasion. So, and then finally, Mark, I know you can kind of build off of this news, but the Batman, $66 million again over the weekend. Still atop the box office. Myself and you did go watch the movie. We can give a few non-spoiler, reviews of it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It totally exceeded expectations. You know, I usually go into a Batman movie or at least a DC movie with high expectations. I didn't with this one because in the back of my head, all I thought about was my dad making fun of it because, oh, you got the sparkly vampire as Batman, you know, freaking Edward from whatever the hell movie that is. From Twilight. But yeah, so it was really good movie. Loved Robert Pattinson as Batman. Zoe Kravitz was a great Catwoman. Kind of reminded me of like the current Catwoman that we have. Am I right?
Holly Berry.
No. In the comic books.
She kind of gave me that Holly Berry look with the short hair. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Halle Berry
Kinda
from the
similar.
Flintstones. Oh,
Okay.
From the Flintstones, okay.
Halle Berry from the
I'm
Flintstones.
gonna have to start Flintstones.
Halle Berry from the Flintstones. You remember that? Come on.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wasn't thinking of that one, but sure, yeah. But what did you ask me?
No. I said like, didn't that Catwoman, Zoe Kravitz's, kind of remind you of the Catwoman that we have now in the comic books? A little bit.
You mean in Batman, Catwoman,
Or
or
just I think it's all, you know. I think the Catwoman that we have, you know, if you're talking about recently in modern days in Batman and Catwoman, it's the same as the one that's in Batman, or the same as the one that's in the current Catwoman story. I just kind of got that, like those kinds of vibes, right? Where she's really into Batman, but then she pulls herself away. It's kind of like Catwoman, yeah, you know, because it's totally different than Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman in Batman Returns. I don't think I ever saw the Halle Berry Catwoman, but I'm pretty sure it's probably different from her too. Colin Farrell played an outstanding Penguin. I'm so glad that his own show on HBO Max got greenlit. It's gonna be a great show. I forgot his name escapes me, but the guy who played the Riddler was good. It was
Yeah,
it was kind of a
the Riddler.
it
What
was
is his
it was
name?
Starts with an
I've
H
seen it
or
earlier.
something. Man,
John
I looked at
John Turturro played a great Mr. Falcone. You know, little Carmine Falcone. You know,
Nice.
had all those characters. So it's a really
Yes.
really good story. When they unveiled the Batmobile for the first time, remember people were shitting on it because it's like, oh yeah, it's just like a souped up like, you know, Camaro or Mustang or whatever, like a muscle car. It was pretty cool. And the chase scene that we see in the trailer with the Penguin, that was awesome. Such a badass, scene. But no, I put it right under The Dark Knight, like right under it, but above all the other ones. My wife actually puts it as her favorite Batman movie. So
why.
Really?
why? She
Nice.
said that the fighting was more natural in the Batman. Like everything, like it looked like an actual, like a fight scene that you would see in real life. Whereas Christian Bale is kind of stiff, where he's like, or something like that. Like it was way more fluid. You know, when he gets someone down, he's just beating the shit out. You know, Mark, in the scenes where he's like 1, 2, 3. You know, it just seems more fluid and way better choreographed in the Batman compared to the other ones. So that's one of the reasons why.
You know, I think that the Riddler was a damn good villain, dude. I really enjoyed
Spooky as
this,
hell.
you know. Huh?
Spooky as hell, like I texted you, man.
Dude, it was great, dude. I mean, it gave me Joker vibes, but just, you know, just different with this like damn little riddles and like the little story that this plot takes you on where you're like thinking, you know, I love the beginning. I told you the whole, like right when they started it off, and it's like, you know, he says that line, what is it? What does a liar
Do when he-
what does a liar do?
When he's dead,
Yeah, what does a liar do when he's dead? And it's just,
He lies
I mean,
still.
it was great. But I think, you know, at this point, after seeing how good the Batman is and how good Dark Knight is, I'm going to have to start saying that I think what's making these Batman movies as good as they are these villains, bro. I mean, we have that, you know, what's his name? Damn it. The Joker.
Heath Ledger.
What's his name? Heath Ledger. So obviously, I think that's probably why that's most people's favorite Batman movie. And now
Probably.
we get the Riddler. Huh?
Probably. It's probably the reason why
And
they
now
say
we
it's the
get
best
the
movie. It's not
Riddler.
because of the Batman. It's because, you know what? I like Michael Keaton,
Oh, yeah.
but I really like Jack Nicholson. I really like Danny DeVito as the Penguin. You know what I'm saying? Like Val Kilmer was cool,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
really like Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face.
Batman has the best villains.
I just
easily.
think that Batman, whether it's Bale or, you know, I think that in the movies we get kind of it's just kind of bland in my opinion. You know, it's like kind of like he's quiet. He's, you know, I like the old detective work that Pattinson is doing in this one, and you know, I think that the villains is what making these movies, honestly. You know, it's just because these two are probably, like I said, I'd say that, yeah, it's probably right below the White Knight. Thinking about freaking Sean Murphy, it's right below the Dark Knight for me, and just like you, man, but
It's
yeah,
a
Riddler.
close
This
second.
Riddler is definitely probably my second favorite villain. You know, and it, I don't even know. I mean, obviously Heath Ledger played a better, you know, acted better. But you're right, the acting in this movie was pretty damn good. But just like the Riddler and how it's like the whole like detective type and like
Well, if I can put
little
it, yeah, if I can put it into context, Sean, there's actually articles about this. It's not like spoiling anything. Matt Reeves loosely based his Riddler character off of the Zodiac Killer. So if you're familiar with the Zodiac Killer and the movie and everything of how
Yes, sir.
cryptic it
Yes,
was and
sir.
how, you know, it became like a mouse or like a manhunt, and then just kind of all the little
And that's the
right
kind of
all the
direction he went
ciphers
with
and everything
Riddler.
they had to figure out and stuff. It's really like that. It's really cool, but makes it spooky at the
And
same
all-
time. You know.
I like that.
and all the like the little notes and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean,
And then the part with Alfred, you know, when he got like, I knew that part. I knew it was coming. I was like thinking in my head, I'm like, no, get back. And I'm trying not to spoil it for Sean, but man,
I mean,
yeah.
but like if you go through all the characters, good Batman, a good Catwoman, a good Penguin, a good Riddler, a good Jim Gordon, a good Alfred, a good Falcone, like all the characters that we see in this movie that we say like, okay, cool, I've seen them in other movies or in a lot of comic books. They played a pretty damn good character, like these actors. It was a well put together movie. The music was really like slow and dark and eerie and stuff, and it went right with the movie. It was an awesome movie. It was well worth the wait of all the COVID delays. I'm glad I went and saw it in the theaters too. If you can see it as one of the big Dolby sounds, the theater, Sean, go see it there. Spend a couple extra dollars on that. It's good.
Oh, I'm definitely going to be working to watch that movie ASAP for sure.
Ending that, we're going to have, as soon as Sean watches it, we're all three of us are going to come back and we're going to dedicate a whole 45-minute comic book section to reviewing this movie. So going to be awesome. So that is it for comic books and the comic book news. Let's get into sports. So as we get into sports, let's go ahead and shift gears, and we'll tell you that thank everyone so far for watching. Aaron, yo, what's up? What's up, Aaron? Thank you so much for joining the show. Thank you so much for joining the chat. This is the Comic Bookies Podcast, episode 146. You can find us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at The Comic Bookies. If you ever want to email us, we are thecomicbookies@gmail.com. So thank you very much for the support. Okay, guys, sports. Got plenty to get into. What would you like to start with? I guess we can kind of build on the conversation at the beginning of the episode and go to March Madness. So, let's go. Who's going to win? Arizona, Gonzaga, Duke. Like who's winning this year? Who's everyone got their money on?
No, why not Gonzaga? They made the finals last year, but they played that super dog tough Baylor team. But Gonzaga, they good. They good. I'm like you guys. Conference tournaments where you start like peeking, start seeing some updates, start seeing stuff, but one team you can always be sure that's going to be there is Gonzaga, and I mean they're really, really good. They're always good, so yeah. I mean, might as well pick Gonzaga. I'm very happy that USF did make it. University of San Francisco, that's pretty badass. They made the tournament first time in a long time. Well, man.
They're a 10
cool.
seed playing Murray State.
Murray State, yeah.
So you got your number ones in Baylor in the East region, Kansas in the Midwest as your number one. They're saying that's probably one of the easiest brackets for them. And, you got Arizona in the South. You got Gonzaga in the West. The national championship is going to be played on April 4th in New Orleans. I don't know, man. I think that Gonzaga, as good as they are they going to get back? I can say possibly. I just think that we have pretty good teams this year. I like what I'm seeing out of Arizona. Honestly, they were down to UCLA in the final for the Pac-12. They ended up coming back and beating UCLA pretty convincingly. I think by 6 or 8 points or something like that. Duke is one of those teams. They're a 2 seed. I think that they're overrated. They, I don't know. My buddy actually likes them a little bit more than I do. I just, I think that they might not. I mean, your brother was even saying this, Mike, that he doesn't know if they're even going to make the Sweet 16. That's hard to say, especially with Mike Krzyzewski's last year coaching. I'd like to think that they would at least make the Sweet 16, right? But, I mean, I don't know. This team, Michigan, they're 11 seed. They haven't been faring too well. Tennessee, they are really good. They play really good defense. They're a 3rd seed out there in that South region as well. I don't know, man. I just think that I think it's going to probably come down to an Arizona, a Kentucky. I mean, I like UCLA. But just some of these teams, I think that there's going to be a lot of teams that advance. Obviously, I'd like to see the Bay Area teams do pretty good. I think there's going to be a lot of teams that advance kind of far. But I think when we get to the, meat and potatoes of this tournament, I think it's going to be kind of chalky, man. I like Arkansas. They got the old coach from Nevada, Musselman. And I think that Arkansas is a pretty damn good team, over there playing in the SEC that's had great teams. Auburn was number 1 this year at one point. Obviously, I mentioned Tennessee. Alabama's a 6th seed here in the West region. They're no joke either. But, I don't know. I really like Houston also in the ACC. They play a pretty good defense, and they won their conference tournament as well. They're facing a number 12 Alabama Birmingham. We all know the stories about a 5 seed and 12 seeds, how there's always upsets with the 12 beating the 5s there. So we'll see if Houston can get past Birmingham here. But, I mean, what are your thoughts, dude? Villanova, they're a 2 seed, which I've seen the last couple games in their conference tournament. Seems like they struggled at times also. They got that kid, Connor Gillespie. That's pretty damn good. But I don't know, man. I don't know if Villanova has what it takes to go that far. Michigan State doesn't seem as great as they usually are this year or every year with Izzo. I actually kind of like Davidson maybe. I think this is probably the best team that Davidson, I think this is one of the better teams they've had since a Stephen Curry team, so watch out for that. I think Michigan State might be on upset alert there, but I've talked enough, man. What are your guys' thoughts? The ACC actually this is like the first time in forever that I think the ACC has only had one team in the top 4, which is Duke in 2 seed, and the next closest seeding for the ACC is the 8 seed in North Carolina. So ACC not faring too well this year. We saw Virginia Tech obviously pound Duke in that final game, and Virginia Tech, I don't know if that's going to be like an anomaly that they just played good in that conference championship game, or if they really got something to compete. But ACC, your perennial very good, conference, not really faring too well in seeding this year. But what are your guys' picks, man? What do you guys think? I mean, if you guys want to give Final Four, Sweet 16, have at it, man. It's obviously going to be fun. I'll tell you that.
What I see right here is that the Sweet 16, a couple of those games are in San Francisco.
Yeah, that's right. I think you're going to be at the Chase Center.
At the Chase Center, yeah. Wednesday the 23rd. It looks like 2 games are at the Chase Center. It's pretty cool.
And what region is that you're saying?
Very cool. I was just going to ask, what region is that?
Avi.
In the West region. So you might have a Gonzaga playing there. You might have that Arkansas I'm talking about. Doesn't really look like we're going to have
there's
Cal State.
Yeah, so there's 3 games. Looks like there's Thursday. Looks like Thursday is the 2 Sweet 16 games, and then your 1 Elite 8 game would be.
And they get an Elite 8?
Saturday, right? Saturday, March 26th.
26th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, would be at the Chase Center, one of the
That's
Sweet 16.
badass.
Yep. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, a chance to see who's in it. Michigan State's there, Alabama, Duke, Zags. Oof.
And then where's the Final Four at?
Sure.
The Final Four is in New Orleans.
Oh, cool. Nice. And they would probably play at the Mercedes-Benz or whatever they call the...
Likely.
The New
Whatever
Orleans,
it's called this time.
Or BMW, whatever.
Actually, that's Atlanta.
Atlanta's BMW or Mercedes? I don't know.
They're Mercedes. I think BMW might be Saints. Yeah, they should always be changing their name. But yeah, oh man, I'm excited.
I mean,
shoot,
I'm not going to beat around the bush.
That's
I'm going to tell you that I don't have any oh yeah. I'm like going to blindly pick. I'm going to spin a wheel and be like, yeah, this one. Or I'm going to pick like somebody else at your office and be like, I like purple over red. So I'm going to pick the purple team. Like a bear would definitely beat an eagle. So I'm going to pick a bear. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to pick it like that. So,
I'll tell you this much.
Shooting fish in a barrel, bro.
I know I'm talking crap about Duke, but they cost me an 8-team damn parlay last weekend. That's why I'm kind of salty on them. I mean, dude, you have a chance to win a conference tournament in your historic coaches last season of, coaching, and you're playing Virginia Tech, and they just put up a horrible fight, man. I just, my buddy thinks I'm crazy. He still thinks that Duke is pretty good, and don't get me wrong, that's one game, but I'm kind of salty off that, man. I was looking for a good, what was it? Like, it was going to be a $600 payday off a $25 parlay. I went 7-1, and all I needed Duke. I didn't even need the points. All I needed was them to win on the money line, and these assholes they were playing defense. I mean, I have to hand it to that kid, Cantor, whatever. He was killing it for Virginia Tech, dude. He had 31 points of career high. This dude hit like 6 or 7 threes. I was just like, man, he just couldn't be stopped. I mean, it could have just been one of those games that really, it was just an outlier. But I don't know if Duke was sleepwalking, but I've also heard by, people that are smarter than me in this realm that Duke, doesn't really deserve to be a 2. But like I said, Tennessee's a 3, and I think Tennessee has a better, track record this year than Duke, and a lot of these teams might get in on names. Texas Tech University from Lubbock, another team that's usually pretty damn good, but yet they lost their coach, Chris Beard, to Texas. We had TTU in that run. I think they made it to the Final Four. Or did they even make it? Did they? I think it was the final. I don't know if they made it to the championship. I think it was the Final Four, but they played pretty damn good, too, with Chris Beard. But now he's on Texas, so we'll see how they fare. But it's going to be fun, man. Baylor, our defending champs, another 1 seed. Can they defend their title over there in the East region? They're going to have to get through UCLA, that Chris Beard Texas team that I mentioned. Kentucky. I think Kentucky is pretty damn good, although I don't know, man. I kind of Kentucky's good, but they're just kind of that team that's named. Kind of sometimes they kind of, flop, but we'll see, man.
So go ahead and give me one upset as far as seeds is concerned. It cannot be an 8-9 because that's barely an upset if you pick a 9 over an 8. So everyone give me an upset, and we'll keep track of it for next week.
9.
One upset. All right, let's take a look real quick. Let's go with I'm gonna go with that.
Well, I think I might have told you mine, man.
Let's go with Virginia Tech over Texas.
Wow. Okay.
Mark.
I'm gonna go with that Davidson over Michigan State, man.
Michigan State. I like that one too. I was actually looking right at that one also. Sorry, Draymond.
Let's see.
I like Colgate over Wisconsin.
Some toothpaste.
I don't know about the upset, but with the points, I think I forgot. Let me see. Colgate. I think Colgate is gonna be like a 10-point underdog or something. I think with the points, they have a decent chance of covering that, man. Wisconsin is pretty good, but some of these, that's the thing with these college teams with basketball.
Got one.
It's 5 guys. You don't really need, a whole like whatever 22 guy roster to be competitive. You got, college basketball. You got, look at that Stephen Curry, speaking of Davidson. Look at that Davidson team with Curry back in the day. You got one dude that can kind of carry you, and you can really be a contender, Not saying you're going to win the whole thing, but you can contend for sure.
Well, LeBron James is proving that's not the case, so... Let's see. So for sure, USC is beating Miami. I'm going to put that out there. And just because I love the name, let me go University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. Good old Terrell Owens is... Yep, let's take them number 13 or a 13 seed over the Fighting Illini, the stupid mascot of Illinois. Nice thinking on that one.
Your USC is in it also, Mike. They're kind
That's what I just said. I said USC's for sure beating Miami, and let's also go with my, I have family up there, so let's go Montana State over Texas Tech.
Well, you see what seed USC is, right? And if you know me, you know what seeds I love playing for some reason.
10 over 7s?
No, I'm a 7 seed guy and an 11 seed guy. I don't know why, man. It's just
like 7-11.
So our 7 seeds, we got Murray State, we got USC, we got Ohio State and Michigan State. Oh man, I'm picking against the 7 seed, aren't I? But 11 seeds, we got Rutgers and Indiana, an 11 seed in that play-in game tomorrow. Kind of like Rutgers tomorrow, actually.
Iowa State,
Virginia Tech. Sean with an 11 seed.
Oh, Virginia Tech is an 11 seed. Okay, over Texas. Okay, I can dig it. Right. Virginia Tech, they played pretty good defense, bro. I'm telling you. They played with heart in that conference game. I really, really liked what I saw from them.
Okay, let's get into some NFL news. We will revisit March Madness next week. I don't want to spend too much time on it because, It's going to be 3 hours. Like I said earlier, we have plenty to talk about. So NFL news, the one and only Tom Brady, he found out what it was like to live with his kids by himself for a couple months, and now he's like, oh, screw that. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the NFL. Sorry. Or like what you were saying, Mark. He was driving around a little bit, and he filled up a few tanks. He was like, whoa. It's how much for gas? Oh, babe, I got to go back to... Sorry, I got to go back, play another season or two, but... I guess that's what the rumor is. I guess he's not truly retired. I guess he's going to come back and play for the Buccaneers. So I don't really see, at this point in his life and his career, I don't see that as like, I mean, it's huge news because it's Tom Brady, but I just don't see the, I don't see the old ticker moving. Like it doesn't truly help their odds. Like I still don't see them. Like the NFC is kind of down. Like Russell Wilson's now exiting. This quarterback situation in San Francisco is kind of up in the air, but I think they're still a better team. LA's still a better team. Green Bay's still a better team. I still think that they're not, the juggernaut of the NFC. They're one of the better teams, of course, with Tom Brady. But yeah, it doesn't do anything for me as it would have 7 to 10 years ago.
I was more just waiting for that tweet to come out because you kind of felt he's gonna come back. You never felt like his retirement's like one of those like the GOAT just retired. It's like, oh, okay, we'll see you in a couple of weeks, see you in a couple of months. Go play your little golf, hang out with your kids for a while. You're gonna play another season, just go out the way he kind of went out. And yeah, it's like one of those things where he's gonna play, he's gonna be good. They're gonna be one of the better teams. I don't see them as shoot, now they're clearing away the Super Bowl favorite. I just don't see that. Like, they're still going to be a good team. I know they franchised Godwin. They brought back Carlton Davis. They got pretty much the same team. And you got Tom. I mean, let's not be stupid here. You still got Tom Brady. But by the time, the season starts at 45, get a couple of hits on them. I mean, we say that every damn year. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I am just like you, Mike. I see them as a good competitive team, playoff team. I just don't see them as one of those, they're going to definitely a Super Bowl contender.
So what do you think about some of these other
Someone knew something, though. Someone knew something at the South Point, one of our favorite sports book out there in the desert, man. Some guy was dropping money at, a couple days before this announcement at 50-1. The guy came back and dropped more money at 30-1, and then bam, a couple days later, Brady announces his unretirement. And
was that for just his unretirement, or was that for like opening day starter for the Bucs?
No, that was for Tampa Bay to win the Super Bowl. So they were like 50-1, and then they dropped. Then they went to he dropped a bunch of money. Then they went to 30-1. I think they're sitting at 12-1 or something right now. Something in that range, but I think that they're going to try to investigate. I heard that the sportsbook might try to get into some investigation, trying to find out if he knew anything. But I mean, if you're dropping all types of money at 50-1, and there might have been something that guy knew that obviously we didn't. Shout out to the poor guy, the poor bastard that auction that won the auction on Tom Brady's last touchdown ball throw. That was auctioned off for $500,000, which is obviously not going to be his last touchdown thrown. So, man,
sorry
poor
for that
guy,
sucker.
I'd be pissed as hell, right? I mean, if you got $500,000 to throw on a damn football,
bought it too early.
So the Raiders give Max Crosby an extension. So I'm glad they're actually keeping somebody, because they're not doing a damn thing else. Let's see, Khalil Mack's back in the division, but not with the Raiders. So that's fabulous. Let's see.
This division's gonna
Russell Wilson back in the division.
He was never in the
That's
division.
joining. You mean,
know, right?
Asshole.
God.
Sean's like, I'm glad he's out of my division. Dan, get that asshole out of here.
Dude, he's a winner. He's you guys deal with him now.
Just because he's on, the Broncos, I think still have a couple questions that need to be answered.
What do you mean, like Randy Gregory?
Team. I mean, I wouldn't just put them exactly.
You think Randy Gregory, sources say that Randy Gregory flips on Dallas after agreeing to a contract and he's joining the Broncos. So, yay.
Well, I mean, dude, all this stuff that Jerry Jones did for him, all the suspensions, all the drug abuse and stuff, and he kind of stuck by your side, and you agreed, and the next day you kind of say F you. I mean, I would want to play for Dallas too. He's a talented player. I say 2 years
Right.
before he's suspended again. Maybe I'm cold-blooded and cold-hearted, but you know what?
Yeah.
Proof's in the pudding, man. The
So
guy
the
does
big,
it
I mean,
every year.
okay, Russell Wilson going to the Broncos, yes. Tom Brady coming back to the Buccaneers, okay. But the big quarterback news is now that the charges have all been dropped against Deshaun Watson,
Trubisky.
who is going to get Deshaun Watson? Is it Atlanta? Is it Pittsburgh? You know, like what team is going to end up getting him? The
Saints,
49ers have already said that they're not going
Panthers, I'm
to
hearing.
inquire about Watson. So San Francisco's off the board there. So what do you guys think?
I think he might go. I think Atlanta's a pretty good spot for him, man. We all know that the AFC is kind of, drowning in quarterbacks and in talent right now. I think that him obviously probably joining the NFC South isn't the best with Brady coming back, but Atlanta with Matt Ryan getting, older, I think with, Deshaun Watson kind of playing his collegiate ball down there in the South and kind of, probably playing a bunch of games down there in Atlanta in college and being used to those domes and the turf and everything in between. I think that, that's a pretty good landing spot, Atlanta, in my opinion, for Deshaun Watson.
No Calvin Ridley for a whole season.
Yeah, but
they don't really have a running game, do they?
We're not talking Deshaun Watson is going to get on Atlanta to make them Super Bowl contenders this year. I think it's get them on there, build for the future,
he's young enough.
Learn from whatever. I don't know, Matt Ryan, I guess. Guy's getting older, statue, but
he's already got a top 5, top 7 tight end, in talent, so
if he wants to go to a win now team, though, I definitely like the Saints with Kamara. Michael Thomas will probably even more want to stay. They already have a good defense. They could probably add another piece or two. I'm not going to say they're going to be a Super Bowl contender either, but they'll definitely be more of a
no
playoff
more
team.
Sean Payton, though. You got to remember that also.
Oh, no doubt about it. To me, though, they got Dennis Allen, your
DA,
coach.
The dirty.
I always have a thing, though, bro.
Dirty DA.
The thing about Deshaun, too, is sitting out a whole year and their asking price is already set at least 2 first-rounders. Like, bro, I don't know, man.
I want to put that out there. Yes, they were, he was, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. He was acquitted on all charges or whatever. But, he was still charged with 22 different counts of sexual assault. He's coming with some kind of baggage. Something's there. He's not a freaking... Oh yes, I'm a freaking choir boy. Come on, dude. He's
slick too, huh? He's slick.
Freaking
the massages,
slick Willie.
Slick.
Come on now.
Guy's slick.
Slick.
Let's get into some NBA real quick, guys. I want to
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, let's get into some NBA real quick. The season's dwindling down. Our Warriors obviously are the 3rd seed now. They fall back a little bit with Draymond not participating, albeit he made his game. He made the game back last night, the first time in over 1,000 days that the Splash Brothers or the Splash Trio all played together. Nonetheless, Phoenix is killing it. They pounded the Lakers on Sunday night. They just won today as well. We got Memphis in the 2nd seed. Sean, you're the aficionado when it comes. Are you still playing NBA fantasy, or since the kid came?
I actually have to sadly notify the world as the 1st seed due to my favorite complaint of back-to-backs and players sitting. I don't want to make that an excuse, but I have been ousted in the first round of the playoffs.
You guys are already in playoffs?
Already?
Yeah, playoffs already, because playoffs is 3 weeks, and we try to just do it kind of a little bit after All-Star break, because, there's just basketball. If it was my way, you might as well do it in the first half of the season. There's just too many players sitting out back-to-backs.
Then why do you play?
I literally had, I think, in the playoff week, I literally had 7 or 8 total games lost of just players sitting because
in this day and age. You're better safe. You're safer just playing football. With baseball, no one's touching Cal Ripken's record. Everyone sits for random ass reasons for basketball. Yeah. Hockey, probably you get some guys maybe taking a handful of games off.
I'm down for baseball, by the way, this year if you want to do it. It's just funny you brought that up because it's not to be as a sour. It's actually after that Olsen trade. I was randomly like looking at his numbers because they showed his numbers. Like, Jesus, I would want this guy in fantasy. It's like, hey, I kind of want to do fantasy baseball. Sure,
that's where it all started, right? Fantasy started in baseball,
baseball
I believe.
and football. Yeah, both. Yeah, both.
What did they call it?
Yeah,
The there was a name for the original. I'm gonna look it up. There was a name.
Me and Sean used to play football and baseball on a website called Sandbox. It was before Yahoo,
Sandbox,
before ESPN,
baby.
before CBS Sports.
And Mike's dad would kick our ass.
That's virtual reality now.
Right? But hey, Sean, set it up. Get your cousin in or get whoever else you think would join like a 8 to 10 man league, and let's do it, man. We'll have a little online draft. We'll do it live here on the podcast too. Let's do it, man. We got to do it in a couple weeks though, right?
Football. I might be able to get him back in baseball. Who knows?
Yeah, let's do that. So, did you guys still want to talk about NBA?
Yeah, NBA, dude. The Warriors right now, they're 8 games behind the Suns. Sean, you had Draymond come out today and pretty much say, I don't give a damn what seed we're at. We're going to win the championship. And, dude, I still believe that they're probably down to the 3rd seed because this dude's been hurt. He means so much to the damn team. Yeah. I'm so glad that they didn't get rid of him. You know, they had all the rumors a couple years ago, like we should put him in a trade for this dude and that dude and whatnot. I don't give a damn. Don't trade the dude. He is what he is. But you know what? The dude can, you know, he delivers the ball. He facilitates. He plays with heart, and you know I'm kind of right there, dude. Honestly, with them, you know, probably contending. Really, you know,
they're definitely contend, bro. And
I think Phoenix. It's gonna be hard though, dude. Phoenix is damn good, man. Phoenix is damn good.
They're damn good, no doubt about it. They're the defending Western Conference champs. And I don't think the Warriors even care about winning, you know, the West during the season, the 1st seed. I don't even think they care about the 2nd seed. Like Dre's saying that, I actually really believe that. They're on a 4-game winning streak. The 4th game yesterday with Dre. Dre's coming back, and he's just everything to that team. I mean, the leadership alone is something you can't teach. The screens he sets, he makes Curry and Clay a better player. Jordan Poole has been killing it lately for us. When our team is rolling, I mean, it sounds so biased, but I firmly believe there's no team that gels, no team that can execute better than our team. And what we do, I don't know what it is about it. Shit, man. When we won our first championship, not many people, Maurice Spades, freaking Livingston, this ain't a championship team. You know what? I think this team's damn near better.
Barbosa,
when you really look at this roster, we're getting Wiseman coming back in the next couple of weeks. Like, this team is getting hot at the right time. They're getting the reinforcements back at the right time. So, I mean, as long as they stay healthy, I don't care if down the road you start... Don't even care about the 1st seed anymore. It doesn't matter at this point. You get the top 2, 3. Hey, just get healthy, be rolling. And, yeah, I'm with Dre on that. Like, I think we can win a championship, no doubt about it. But I will say that East is loaded with teams. That East is, yeah, pretty damn good.
Miami Heat sitting at 1. Your defending champ Bucks 2.5 games back. 76ers, you know, James Harden with the addition there. He's been all right. I think, you know, they barely won in Orlando the other day. Had to go to overtime and won by like a bucket, I think. The Bulls, this was the team with DeMar DeRozan with the MVP, you know, caliber type in the beginning of the season. They're sitting, you know, 4 games behind. I thought that they're falling back a little bit. Boston's picked it up, but yeah, you're right, man. Who would have thought that the Nets, bro, the freaking Nets, bro, with Kyrie Irving dropping 60 today on that ass, you know, 9.5 games back, sitting in the 8th position, in the 8th seed, but yeah, I mean, man, you're right, Sean. I think the East might even be a little bit more competitive than the West. In the West, you know, I kind of see the Suns and the Warriors and probably maybe even Memphis. You know, Memphis has really had Golden State's number this year, but I think between those 3 teams is really where it's at. When it comes to the East, man, you're right. I think that there could be a lot of at least 5 or 6 teams kind of, you know, going for that spot there. But the Heat are so much better when Butler is playing, you know, so he came back. We'll see, man. That's just, I don't know let me see if I got some odds real quick. If you guys want to continue, let me see if I can pull something up.
Well, one thing I want to mention, there's someone that's joined the chat. Stefan, I don't know how to really pronounce your name, but thank you so much for joining the chat. He says he has a trivia question for us. So Sean, are you ready
Ooh, damn trivia.
you ready to stump the Schwab? Ready? So
Yeah, my hands are here,
so-
just so you know I'm not
so we
typing
won't
it up to
we won't
look
look
it up.
anything up. But Stephen, go ahead and post your question if you got it. So we'll go ahead and continue with our conversation, and we will wait for Mr. Bernal's.
The Suns about 4-1. Golden State looking at about 5-1. The Nets as well. The Bucks 7-8-1. The 76ers as well. Those are the top teams in the 10-1 range. You got Miami Heat, and then after that, the Celtics, the Jazz, the Grizzlies, the Nuggets, the Bulls. I mean, if you're looking for value, I wouldn't go past the Mavericks, although I don't think they can win it. But if you're looking at the Bulls 30-1,
Stay in the top five, Mark. Stay in the top five.
They ain't
is
gonna win it.
that what it?
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on,
Is that
top
They
five.
ain't gonna win it.
Yeah. You're right.
You ain't gotta lose no money. Don't be like.
I mean, if you're looking for
damn the value, you ain't gonna win no money.
That's the NBA for you. If you're looking for some value in the NBA at this point, I'd probably have to go with the Heat because, they're 10-1, but they're also sitting first in the East. So that's probably the value that I'd be playing. Or Brooklyn Nets, not much value, but 5-1 sitting in the 8th seed.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Kyrie Irving's not going to be able to play home games in the damn playoffs.
Simmons coming back. Don't worry, they're going to change the law just in time for the playoffs, and Simmons is going to come back. Oh, they're going to compete. Oh, come on now. You know what's going to happen.
What was that thing that Kyrie was sitting inside his own arena for like a college basketball game?
Don't get me started.
sorry.
Don't
Mark.
get me started.
Okay.
Well, he actually went to the Knicks, New Jersey
nonsensical
game
bullshit
on the other side of the bridge to watch the game. He's at the game.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Cool.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Can't make this up, man.
I mean,
you can watch the game in the stands, but you can't play on the court. Does that make any damn sense? If he played for another team, if he played for the Rockets and he came into town, he'd be able to play on the exact same court, but he can't play because he plays for New York. It's all bullshit, dude.
It's a conspiracy against the Nets.
That's wild
right?
stuff.
And you heard Kevin Durant talking out about it. I don't know if you saw that, but Kevin Durant was pretty vocal about it, which I like. You need people to start being vocal about it and just stand up to this idiocy that's going on, man. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
Really dumb.
Well, you know what else is dumb is the whole beginning of this baseball season, but you know what? We're finally going to have it. And what else is dumb is the front office of the Oakland Athletics because
you're a billionaire, David Force.
Yet again,
Billionaire.
Yep, the Fisher Group strike again. They don't want to pay their players, so making trades and getting prospects. Ooh, let's go and give a Razor Ramon gift. Like, ooh, yeah, cool, yeah, fuck around like that. Yeah, right.
But you knew that was going to happen pretty much.
I mean, but you have a lot of people being traded, a lot of signings. Rizzo's back with the Yankees on a $32 million contract. You have Colin McHugh joining the Braves with Matt Olson after the trade to the A's. Matt Olson also getting a huge payday from them. I mean, shoot. What else, Sean? Strasburg, of course, is not pushing it. He's going to be ready when he's ready. Fernando Tatis Jr. Fernando Tatis Jr. Unfortunately, he fractures his wrist. He's going to be out up to 3 months. I'm so excited that Ronald Acuna Jr. is back. So I mean, dude,
highlight reel.
I mean, he wasn't even there last season, right?
That's like the scary
He wasn't
part.
even there, and they won the World
like
Series.
Right before the All-Star break is when he tore his ACL, and they still won a World Series.
That is unbelievable. So I mean, it's exciting. But what'd you say about the Giants? I'm sorry to cut you off.
We signed Rondon, the pitcher from the White Sox, the lefty All-Star pitcher.
Yeah,
so I mean, I'm happy we added him. Definitely
Carlos.
Yeah, I'm happy we added him actually. Because he actually had really good numbers. It was either him or Gossman, bringing him back, but Gossman wanted the long-term deal. Rondon, we only gave him like a 2-year deal, which it's safe because you never know if this guy's gonna be just kind of like a one-hit wonder. So I actually really like it.
Are they letting Bryant go?
Oh hell yeah! Oh god, please let him go because he's gonna get overpaid.
Yeah.
He's gonna get overpaid. No disrespect. I mean, Bryant's Bryant, but he's gonna get overpaid. He was all right for us. He had some all right hits. He was, playing in different places, platooning, but the kid got to go, man. I don't know. Chris Bryant, I think he's a little overrated. He was like MVP in his first couple years,
true.
But
I was watching. Was it Intentional Talk? The one on MLB Network, I think. Is that Kevin Millar or who's the old
Kevin
Millar's on that show,
right? So he's on there, and they were saying that possible destinations for all these free agents, and they
Really?
said for him it's the Mets. The Mets are spending money like there's no tomorrow, so maybe that's a destination for him.
Well, dude, those Mets, bro, got your guys' boy Bassett, who I know, talking to Aaron, one of our loyal listeners.
Aaron right
I
here.
agree with them. He's a
Yep,
silent
Aaron's
killer.
on the chat right now. He's asking if we're doing sports talk. Yes, we are, sir. You just missed the NBA, but we've got baseball and NASCAR coming up. But if you have a question or a comment, go ahead and chime in.
That? Do we got that trivia question? Where's Stefan?
You know what? Stefan is I don't know. Don't know where he is at. He showed up and has a trivia question for you. He says a trivia question for you 4, so I don't know if he knows that Razor Ramon's dead. But but yeah, so it's just us 3. So if you're still on, sir, please give us that trivia question because we're excited to answer it. But go ahead, Sean.
I will say that's probably become arguably the best rotation 3-man off top in the NL, and I'm gonna be pushing maybe freaking baseball. Chris Bassett, DeGrom, and Scherzer.
Yeah,
that's gonna be
God
nasty.
damn, that's a lot of money, right? Just right there.
Nasty.
DeGrom.
DeGrom.
Yes.
Oh,
when he goes to the barbershop, he's
apologies.
DeGrom. But when he's on the phone,
Dude, it's gonna be
when he goes to PetSmart
Right.
to get the damn.
But no, I you know what? That's so funny you say that, Sean. Like all these transactions and stuff, even though the A's shafted themselves, but all these news of these guys returning and we actually getting a baseball season, that fire inside of me starts again, of just like me and having baseball is still my favorite sport, right? And you know what? Of course, I have zero time for it, but I'm all for a fantasy year, so go ahead and let me know.
I gotta ask you guys a question because you guys are both the A's fans, and I actually want to reference a tweet I seen from one of our past interviewees, Casey Pratt. And it drives me crazy to even think about that, but it's kind of like, I guess I kind of get it. He says any season until the stadium situation is basically pointless. It doesn't even matter, basically. Getting a stadium is the number one priority. We can lose, basically. I mean, he didn't say this part, but like, it almost.
I agree. I completely agree, dude. You're not an A's fan, so you don't understand, bro. I completely agree. We're not going to compete, bro. People don't want to come here. Hitters don't want to.
How do you say you don't compete if you've made the playoffs? How do you say you're not going to compete?
Okay, but players don't want to come. You saw the damn guy that got traded from Atlanta that had to say sorry because he was like pretty much, oh, damn, I can't believe I'm getting traded to the A's. He was all butthurt. Players don't want to come here, dude.
When you're trading for players at that level, I get it. But the A's you've made the playoffs.
Okay, we make the playoffs, bro, and you've won 3 World Series in the last 12 years.
And I sound hella snotty.
We don't care about playoffs, dude. We want to we make the playoffs. What? We play a play-in game. Lester can't throw over to first base. We lose. We play this. We lose. You know what? It's just like, God, I want to get into the damn World Series.
You're like bringing up a tuck rule feelings.
My thing is, I just think too, though. I guess because I think of it like A's make the playoffs, the Detroit games in Oakland. I watched every one of those games, and I've seen that stadium packed. And in the end, it's true. You need a new stadium. I'm not going to say, oh, you can fill that stadium.
It's packed for the playoffs. Of course it's packed for the playoffs.
I know.
You got your 7,000 people there on a weekly night.
It's only packed for 3 things.
It's
packed for 4 things. Opening day, the Giants, the Yankees, and playoffs.
The Yankees.
Not the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Not the Dodgers.
And it's like we're not even talking about okay, when it's not packed, you're getting, whatever. You're not even getting 15,000. You're not getting 12,000. We're getting like 7, 8, 9.
That I get. It's just like, I don't know. To me, it's one of those like, in the end, let the politics, let the upper house take care of that. Your coaching, your players, your GM, you still have a job. Put the best product on the field. No. I don't understand the part of it of not being an A's fan and the way you guys are going.
I understand it. You know why? Because they're revamping. If they would have kept Melvin and then started dumping players, then I would have understood. Like, okay,
Melvin's dope.
But they revamped. They got a coach. They got a new manager.
A complete fire sale.
They're revamping, bro. It just. Yeah, this is what, we knew it was coming. This is what they do. And they might suck for 2-3 years, and hopefully they get good again in 3 or 4. But It's just
see,
the reality we
odds
face as Ace fans,
we're
man.
probably not going to suck that bad. You know,
they never do.
They're going to, I mean, now that might have had, you know, to do with Melvin, and who knows what Kotze is going to do, but, you know, we put playoff teams on the field with what we've got, you know. We've never had we've never had a roster.
What about that
like,
Mets roster,
like a Yankees
though?
roster, a Red Sox roster, or a Dodgers roster? Like, we've never had that kind of roster, but we still put a playoff product on the field the majority of the time over the last 20 years. Like, we've made the playoffs, I think, you know, half of the years in the last 20 years, if not more. You know, we went to me and you had season tickets to plenty of years we were making the playoffs. You know, we've made the play-in games. You know, we've won divisions. So it just can't bring home a ring. And I think
who else they dumped Canna also, huh?
Canna and Marte and Bassett all went to the Mets.
Yeah, Canna, Bassett, Marte,
all the
Ollie, they're all gone. We still got Chapman. Poor Chapman.
Chapman needs to get out of town too. Chapman, I think, had the least amount of trade value out of all of them. He's hella good at fielding, but his hitting to me is hella overrated. He's cool, but his defense is what he's known for.
Yeah.
He's an Eric Chavez.
Eric Chavez is solid, though. He'll give you... he was cool.
240, 250. Yeah, it's a lot better than 230.
242.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so who knows?
But I'm with you, though. Either way, baseball, the fire is there for sure. I mean, it doesn't matter who your team is, I think.
Yeah, fantasy, you just tell me where to sign, bud. You just tell me where to sign. So...
Yeah. Even like what I was saying to real quick, last thing, what I was saying to Mark too is like before, like, when all the drama was with all like the drama this season, I still agree with like what Mark said, like, oh, baseball is America's pastime, like the politics, how bad it's really gotten, but the actual play, the players, the going to a stadium, the watching them play, that will always be there. I mean, we grew up, so I don't know. It's always
Dodgers 7-1, Blue Jays 8-1, Astros about 9-1.
Blue Jays ain't gonna win a World Series.
9-1.
Don't waste your money.
Huh?
Blue Jays ain't winning a World Series. Don't waste your money.
Mets 10-1. The White Sox with the Rondon-less White Sox 11-1. Your defending champion Braves 12-1. I thought they'd be higher, especially with getting Ollie. Padres with the new manager there and Mr. Bob Melvin 12-1. Your San Francisco Giants 20-1. And Mike, our Oakland Athletics sitting at a mere 60-1. There's some value right there, brother. Albeit we're sitting higher than our Texas Ranger counterparts there, but a little bit lower than our 30-1 Angels
Texas
and
Rangers,
Seattle
the
Mariners,
franchise that's gotten like 3 new stadiums in the time that we've had one. Right.
We've never got a new stadium. What are you talking about? We've never had a new stadium. That stadium was built for football, and they're playing there, and it's still the same. Dude, it's a disaster, dude. That's a whole different conversation for a whole nother day,
Since
man.
they've been there in 68, I think the Rangers have played in 3 or 4 different stadiums, so yay. And how many World Series have they won in that time? Absolutely none. They went to one.
Goose egg.
2010. We all know how that happened.
Beat 'em.
Or how that ended up, but... in a couple weeks we'll be talking about it, the opening day. So,
you know what? At the end of the day, after all this lockout crap, after all this, at the end of the day, I'm excited that we're getting it back because it is America's pastime. It is the sport that you get every day through the summer. Check on it every day. You maybe throw a wager on it if you see a little bit of value and a little bit of an edge every day. And it's just, it's something that is embedded into at least my heart, and I'm pretty sure your guys' is as well. So I'm excited that it's back. I know that I kind of get like this with every sport, right? Even as big as I am with college football, I'll admit, man, like sometimes I don't even pay attention to nothing that's going on. Man, the minute the minute that it starts in college football, that very first week and, in September, man, I'm all about it. And I feel the same way about MLB, dude. As much as it used to be my favorite sport, followed all the analytics, just to go to the A stadium and just, by myself, get some seeds, put on my radio, listen to the broadcast, grab a brew. It's just, I'm excited that it's coming back, man. I'm not as big into it. Family has played a big part in that. Can't go to as many games as you and I used to go to, Mike. 25 games a year and whatnot, and stay around for all the free giveaways. True. And it's just it's tough now. But I mean, my heart's still in baseball, man. We all know when it comes down to the playoffs, it's always fun.
Let's get into our last segment of the night. As we round out the podcast, let's get into NASCAR. So last week we had a new winner. We've had 2 winners so far in the first, what have we had, 4 races? 2 out of the 4 winners so far this year. It's been their first win in the Cup Series. So you had you have Chase Briscoe winning last week. First win in his career. The number 14 car for Stewart Haas Racing. He wins over in... What the hell were they last week? Phoenix, that's right. Phoenix. Watching the movie, I only got to watch half of the race because I was in the movie theater for the first half. So now we head all the way to the East Coast, all the way to Hot Atlanta for the newly paved Atlanta Motor Speedway. What do we have here? So we looking at some stats here. It's another 1.5 mile cookie cutter, but who knows? All those past stats might be thrown out of the window because of this new pavement. Since February of 2019, you have Kyle Busch up there, Martin Truex, the usual suspects as far as finishing there. I know Ryan Blaney, he won this specific race last year. I mean, I think this was one that Kyle Larson was winning like the whole damn race, and then with 20 laps left, he led up to Ryan Blaney, and he ended up taking the win in this first of 2 races. So,
winning.
What do you guys think for this race this weekend down in Atlanta?
Chase better get his hat out of brass.
The Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500. We all know how good Happy Harvick is, and Kevin Harvick sitting at 14-1 to win this race. He came pretty close. Obviously, his best racetrack in Phoenix with 9 wins overall.
18
there
straight
down in the desert.
Tens.
He couldn't.
He ties.
Yeah, tied a record.
Petty and Earnhardt.
Petty.
And that racetrack was the same, like Wilkesboro or something like that. I think. Yeah, North Wilkesboro. Both won 18 in a row. So if Kevin Harvick finishes in the top 10.
One or top 10?
So if Kevin Harvick finishes top 10 in his next Phoenix race, will be the championship race, then he'll break the record of consecutive top 10s at a specific racetrack. So, yeah,
that's
pretty cool.
Awesome.
Just wanted to throw that in there.
Big respect.
I think I'm excited for this race, actually, because we know how bad we know how long they held off to pave this racetrack. It's been man, for years. They've been talking about it for like 4 or 5 years about repaving it, and they've been holding off, and they finally had to do it. This thing is gonna be mad quick, with a new car on it and everything. Who knows exactly how it's gonna go? I expect the speeds to be really, really high. I hope it's not follow the leader. It could possibly be that way just because of they don't know too much about the track, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I don't know if they just repaved it or if they I don't think they reconfigured it much. If they did, they might have changed the banking in it a little bit, but I don't think they messed with it too much. If they didn't mess with it too much and it's going to be really fast, I'd expect Harvick to actually still be pretty decent at this track. They call it Harvicking when he sits and rides that white line on the bottom. So I think that he can still be pretty good here. But what can I say, man? What can I say about these young guns? What can Ross Chastain, Briscoe, that obviously won last week, Cindric's been, I don't know how good he'll be here. I think he's better
Eric Jones
on other
was good
tracks,
until he DNF'd like later in the race. So
Eric Jones, man, I must have jinxed him. The guy's been pretty good this year, but he gets in these like late race cautions lately.
Tyler
but
Reddick.
He's been doing pretty good. Tyler Reddick has been a beast.
JJ Reddick.
Surprisingly, there's only 6 current drivers who actually have wins all time in Atlanta, and there's nobody with who currently drives in the Cup Series who has an all-time average of a top 10 finish.
Damn, you're right.
Got Hamlin. Let me tell you the win. No, don't tell me. Hamlin,
He has
Harvick.
3. Busch has
Busch.
2.
Keselowski
has 2. So you
I have.
So you have Hamlin with
so
1.
I got 2 more.
You have Kyle Busch with 2. You have Keselowski with 2, and you have Harvick with 3.
So the other winners, I know Logano hasn't won there.
I just gave you one of them earlier. Yeah, well, he won. He won this race last year over Larson.
He has one.
No, he won.
Oh,
it over
Larson won it last
said
year?
it.
No.
Oh. Who the hell won it last year?
Yeah, Blaney's got.
Not Blaney?
And
Yep.
then who's
That's
the 6th?
right, Blaney
and he
won it.
and this person actually has the
Who's
this
this?
no
Truex.
this person actually has the most
Nope.
wins of current Cup drivers.
Yep.
At Atlanta.
Yes.
Yeah, he's on a new team. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Down in his head.
Yeah, Kurt
I
Busch.
don't wanna give it
Busch.
away.
4 wins at Atlanta.
Yeah.
So who knows how his Toyota
Yes,
is
sir.
number 1 Toyota is going to drive. But yeah, no, I'm excited for this one. Definitely. Let's see.
I always like the idea of a new paved track. I love the speed. I those young guns are about to be showing up for sure, too. Yeah, I like
It's cool
that.
too because I think we're going to be kind of steering away from that conversation. You know how it's in the last couple of years when we talk about NASCAR, it's always like, oh yeah, it's probably going to be Busch or Truex or Logano or Bowman. You know, it's going to be like it's always one of 10 drivers, right? But we didn't think Cindric was going to win the Daytona 500. I don't think any of us thought that Briscoe was going to win at Phoenix last week, but here they are. You know, they're not only performing at a high level in most of these races, they're actually winning races, right?
You know what? Briscoe actually showed me something, dude. I definitely thought Chase was going to catch him,
I thought
beat
so,
him.
too.
You know, dude, man. I mean, I don't know if it was lap traffic. I don't know if it was the car falling off, but I did not think that, Briscoe was going to be able to fend him off and win that race. But here we are, man. It's just, I don't know if it's the new car. I don't know if it's just a lot of new things going on, but I love what I see. At the end of that race, you know who came in first, second, and third? It was Chase Briscoe, Ross Chastain, and Tyler Reddick. I mean, that's crazy, dude. I mean, that's something that I wouldn't have expected, but I love it because I can't, as much as I love my Penske's, the Hendricks, it gets old, man. I love to see a Chastain up there. I love to see a Suarez, albeit, he kind of gets messed up, but I love all this different stuff going on. It's just, this sport is too big. There's too much, there's too many different types of fans and too many people in it to just see the same shit. And if you want to attract new people into this sport, not just fans, not just like owners and car owners and sponsors, you can't just have the same 5 guys winning all the damn time, right? I mean, it gets old. Unless it's your driver winning all the time, but even me, if like Logano's winning every week, it's like, okay, I like it. It's my driver, but we need parity in this sport. And to see these young guns like really come up and start doing it, and to see like a guy like Keselowski, obviously on a whole new team, RFK Racing, that he's a part owner of, kind of struggling on the West Coast swing, which I kind of had a feeling was going to happen because Roush just hasn't been performing that good in a lot of recent years. But in my opinion, to see, Christopher Bell up there doing pretty good, in qualifying and practices and whatnot. And just I like the young guns, dude. I like the different, what we're getting out of this sport. I think it's bringing a lot of new eyes to it. And, it's something that I like to see. So hopefully the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500, which is going to be the last time that I think they're sponsoring it, because they're going to pull out after 12 years of sponsoring this race. Next year it's going to be something else, probably like Welcome to Georgia or Come Visit Georgia 500 right. Or something, Atlanta. I don't know.
The Chick-fil-A 500.
Yeah, dude, just... I'll take a Chastain win. I'll take take a Reddick win this week. Keep it rolling. You got Chase Briscoe with a win, and you got Cindric with a win.
I mean, we're
going to
have that conversation that we had last year. Remember all those, winner, and then after the Bristol dirt race when Logano won, we had X amount of drivers. And we're like, are we really going to have over 16? I think we may be close to having this conversation again this year too. Is after the first 10, 12 races, are we going to have 9-10 different drivers. You know what I'm saying? So we're like, dude, are we going to get 17 or more drivers? Like, some of these guys better perform on a consistent basis, because if you're number 17, you're odd man out, buddy. Sorry. So, yeah.
Depends on the points. Logano currently leading the points with no wins.
That's crazy. How the hell do you do that? Just average finishes and stuff? Just...
Well, yeah, you're leading the points. You got the best points, but you're not locked into the playoffs or whatnot. But yeah, Logano leaves Phoenix as the points leader.
Best thing about the season so far is a full weekend of NASCAR racing. You have like Friday truck races, but you also have all the Xfinity and Cup Series practices and qualifying like mixed into there. Oh, I love that when that's all on my. It's not just race.
Is it only 15 minutes practice though?
It's getting back to normal. You know, it's slowly starting to. You know, so I'm all for it. So. But yeah, everyone enjoy the race on Saturday. Everyone enjoy March Madness. You have hopefully more NFL news, more MLB news as the season approaches. Yeah, episode 146 has now come to a close. Thank you so much for tuning in. However you're tuning in. Fellas, send us off.
146 was too much fun, but it made me realize how much crap there is going on in the world, guys. March Madness, obviously the NASCAR races and the fun parody going on, NFL free agency, baseball is back, and all the trades going on with that. Obviously the Batman is out. All the great comic books, which you should be getting every Wednesday from your local comic book shop. And of course, every Tuesday night, tuning in with the Comic Bookies podcast. We appreciate you guys. Good time hanging out with you guys. Keep engaging. Mike will definitely give you guys all the social medias, as well as ways to reaching out to us. And again, just keep supporting the pod. We love you guys.
That's right, man. Thank you, Sean. I love the way you put it. Nonetheless, we got one day. We got 13 hours, 4 minutes, and 15 seconds left till the tournament kicks off. I got the ticker countdown right now on ESPN. But yeah, man, we are here. This has been episode 146, man. It's fun. I know we've been our schedules have been crazy lately. You get Sean 1 week, you get him the next week. I don't come on 1 week, you get Sean and Mike 1 week. We're all kind of mixing and jumbling and all this stuff right now, but we try to deliver every week. You know, we might take a week off here and there, but we've got busy lives. We got jobs, we got wives, we got kids, we got everything in between, and we trying to make some money on here. So, yeah, man, this is 146. Thank you. Check us out always on the Comic Bookies at all social media. You know, if you want to leave us a email, if you want a book for us to review, I know we got one of those, I think, coming up. Mike, you sent us that one of the guys is going to be maybe not a spoiler, but there's a fun guy coming up that might have a big book coming out soon with a big publisher that we're going to try to get him on. I know it's been a while since we've gotten some interviews. We kind of been slacking on that, but man, the pandemic came, so we got excuses. But nonetheless, dude, we thank everyone that's tuned into the chat, everyone that's left a message, everyone that listens to us. We appreciate you guys all. This is tournament time. This is March Madness. Sports are in full gear. Make sure you go out and watch the Batman so we can review it with you. I'm sure Sean will watch it by this weekend, so hopefully we can talk about it next week. But yeah, thank you guys. We love you. Mike, take us away,
Thank
brother.
you guys so much. It's always good to have all three of us on the show. Just to give an update over the last 10 episodes, we have a little bit of a jumble of the top 5 downloaded areas of the United States. But of course, the San Francisco Bay Area is supreme. LA is number 2. Nashville, Tennessee, over on the other side of the country, is number 3. Coming in at number 4 is Des Moines, Iowa. So we're West Coast, East Coast, Midwest, we're everywhere. And finally, one of our favorite cities in the whole wide world, Las Vegas, Nevada, is running at the top 5. But yeah, for Sean, for Mark, this is Mike. This has been the Comic Bookies podcast. Again, we're working on hopefully sponsoring someone else's show. So we're going to hopefully give you some great news coming up in the coming weeks. But yeah, like I just said, for Mark, for Sean, this is Mike. This is episode 146 of the Comic Bookies podcast. Enjoy the sports, all of the sports. Enjoy the comics and enjoy each other. Peace the hell out. Have a great weekend. See you all next week.
Peace.
And always enjoy each other. And enjoy March Madness, baby. Dickie V, baby. Let's go.